Today, I'm going to talk to you about AI for game development. Now, you may wonder, what about it specifically? Everything. Because AI has been going wild with Stable Diffusion, ChatGPT, thousands of open source models on Hugging Face, and game developers aren't really using them. Why? I don't know, but I'm hoping to change that. I'm going to show you how to use AI to make a game in 5 days. Day 1, art style. The game I'm making is a farming game. Think Farmville, because it's simple and I only have 5 days. And I want to start by deciding on an art style. And for that, I'll be using Stable Diffusion. You may have heard of it. It creates images from text, like this. Here my prompt was isometric render of a farm by a river. Not bad. And then using this concept art, I built a scene in Unity. Now, you may think AI didn't do everything by itself. You still had to do work, yes. That's because I want to show you how you can use AI as a tool, not a replacement for the whole process, at least not anytime soon. Okay, so guess what? It's day 2, game design. And this time, I'll be using ChatGPT. You've definitely heard of this one. So I told ChatGPT, I'm making a simple farming game. What features are most important? And its response was great. Variety of crops? Good. Rewarding progression system? Good. Dynamic weather system? Too much work. So I implemented the first 2. But there's a problem. The game doesn't have any art. Good thing it's day 3, icons. And back to Stable Diffusion. This time, I'm not using it for concept art. I'm going to use it to create game-ready assets. Let me show you what I mean. So first I drew some wheat. I know, it's really high quality. And then I passed it through image to image, which uses Stable Diffusion to transform an image according to a prompt. So I passed it through, and this is the result I got. Pretty good. But you may notice the wheat has legs for some reason. So I edited those out in Photoshop, and I passed it back through image to image. This is how you can collaborate with the AI in your own artistic workflow. So I did that for all my icons, and now it's day 4, 3D assets. This is where AI falls short, because the world of 3D runs on 3D models, and AI isn't very good at 3D models. So in this case, I just used cubes for my crops. But I want to talk about where we're headed in 3D. Oh, sorry, there's the cubes for the crops. And I want to talk about where we're headed in 3D, because it's pretty exciting. AI may not be good at 3D models, but it is good at images that look 3D, using something called NeRFs, or neural radiance fields. These use neural networks to synthesize views of objects. The cool thing about this is that future games might not even need 3D models. They might just have latent representations of objects and use neural networks to synthesize views in real time. What does that mean? Well, it means infinitely high fidelity graphics with constant rendering time that takes up very little storage space. This isn't here yet, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Okay, so the game. It's day 5, story. And this time, I'm going to give some warnings. So I told ChatGPT about my game and asked it to come up with a story. And it literally gave me the story of Stardew Valley, another farming game. Luckily, I was able to say, that's literally the story of Stardew Valley. Be more original. And it was. But I'd say in this case, it's best to use AI for brainstorming. I wouldn't suggest using it to write your entire story. But I want to talk about something else that's really cool that's not here yet, but maybe here soon. And that's AI-powered NPCs. What if you had NPCs or characters in a game like Skyrim that you could just talk to like you would a real person? That's the future of storytelling, and it's on its way very soon. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the farming game? It's finished. You can play it now on the Hugging Face website. I hope you learned something about AI for game development. And even if you're not a game developer, check this stuff out, because there are a lot of open source tools that are really useful for whatever you're working on. Thank you for listening.